Hi, good morning, everyone from United States. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate most of you already for having their job order and for successfully passing their principal and district interview. I'm really glad that most of you are sending me messages through my Facebook account that they already had their contract and that they are, thankful for the past interaction that I have had with them. So it's my pleasure, and I'm not asking for any pay, but I will ask you to pay it forward to other teachers and those people who want to accomplish or fulfill their dream of becoming an international teacher. So if they need help, then probably you could pay it forward to them, help them in the process, the interview process, or in their what do you call that? Mm, their job application process in the entirety. So anyway, after your principal interview and after you have received your contract, of course, your visa sponsor is going to give you a go signal that you can go on and process your visa. For EPI teachers, just like me, do not worry. Our visa sponsor is very approachable and very helpful in this process, as we are going to have like a learning course center that we need to subscribe in, and it will tell you the step-by-step process on how to accomplish this. So anyway, let us begin our vlog for today. So, in securing your visa, of course, you must prepare the following. Number one, you must have your updated passport. If you know that your passport is going to be expired by next year, you may want to renew it now because our program will run for like 3 to 5 years with the extension. And alongside with your passport, you also need to have your updated 2x2 picture. If they saw that in during your visa appointment that your 2x2 picture is not updated, they will ask you to redo it. But don't worry, there's a Kodak Center, I don't know, but there's a photo booth or imaging a booth inside the U.S. embassy, and it will help you, or rather give you an updated 2x2 picture. But of course, just to save your time, you're already on the line and you don't want to go outside to have it your picture taken. You just may want to prepare this in advance. In what do you call this, in filling up your form, your TS 160, if I am not mistaken, there are certain guidelines of what kind of 2x2 picture that you'll need. So just follow the instruction very carefully, because they are very very particular with your 2x2 picture. And then aside from your passport and your 2x2 picture, you may want to have to prepare your service number. Of course, you cannot fill your DS 160 without your service number, and this will be given by your visa sponsor. And then lastly, of course, prepare your payment for your appointment schedule. Now, in line with your appointment schedule, I think it was last year when we have had those emergency requests. You can ask your visa sponsor for a letter that will support or back up your emergency request, because I believe right now there are a lot of like the schedule in the US embassy in the Philippines is like around 2023 already. So I don't know. Perhaps you can book one on 2023 and then ask for an emergency appointment, since you are highly needed here in the United States. So, what are the possible questions that will be asked from you during your visa interview? The following topics are the possible things that they will ask you, particularly they will ask you on your exchange program or your exchange visit. What are your personal and financial status, and of course your future plans after or during, you're holding your J1 or non-immigrant visa. So let's still dig into them one by one. First, you will be asked on probably about your exchange visit or your exchange program. Number one question that they will ask you is, why do you want to go to in the US? Of course, if you are an exchange visitor and your visit is for a teaching culture exchange, or teacher culture exchange program, then you may want to answer this question that you are here, of course, in the United States, to teach and fulfill your duty as an educator. So you may want to only stick to that reason that you are here. The sole purpose of why you want to go here in the US is to teach, of course, your culture in the American setup, and as well as learn from their culture, and of course teach those learning experiences that you have here in the US to your home country once your program has ended. And then number two, what is the purpose of your program? Of course, this is just like what I mentioned in my first answer. Our what do you call this, our program, or the purpose of our program, is for cultural exchange. So you might want again to limit your answer, or at least to focus your answer to that purpose. Our purpose is, to have an exchange of interaction between two cultures, and promote cultural diversity and learn from it, and then also go back to the Philippines to teach it. And then, what grades will you be teaching? In answering this number three, four, and the third, fourth, and fifth question, you may want to refer back to your DS 2019. It's very important for you to read your DS 2019, review it before going to the US Embassy, because all your answers, especially in line with what grades will you be teaching, how many hour will you work, and how much is your annual compensation, they should all match the things that are indicated in your DS 2019. So in my case, what grades will I be teaching? I answered, of course, it's fifth grade, because it's written under my DS 2019 contract. And how many hours will you work? Probably 7 to 8 hours a day, for 5 times a week, because it's our job there. It's our job here. I mean, it's basically the same with in the Philippines. And how much is your annual compensation? It is written in your DS 2019. So just disclose what is written, and do not forget to read every single letter in your DS 2019, and try to, not memorize all, but try to understand and remember those important things, just like what I have mentioned. And then after that, some will also be asked about their personal and financial status. This is just to make sure that you can support yourself while you stay here in the Philippines, in the United States. So you'll be asked. Sometimes you'll be asked, "What are your parents' jobs?" Just state the jobs of your parents. And then number two, what is your family annual income? If you know the income of your brother, your sister, combine them together with your mother and father, combine them together. And then how much savings they have. This is where a bank certificate um, comes in, or the role of your bank certificate comes in. It's very important that you can provide evidences of your financial status. So during your visa interview, you may want to bring your bank certificate with you, and as well as your home ties. Say, for instance, if you have like businesses in the Philippines and you have their business permit, you may just want to bring it in. If you have like car ownership or land ownership, you can just bring them in just in case they will ask you these questions. Okay. And lastly, they will ask you, do you have any sponsors? Of course, in our part as teachers, we all have our visa sponsors. So you just may want to state it, although again, it's stated already on your DS 2019. So it's very important again to know your DS 2019 by heart. Lastly, you'll be asked of your future plans. What are your future plans in the United States? Where do you see yourself in a few years? What will you do after the program? What are your plans if you receive your J1 visa? And what if you don't receive your J1 visa, right? So, again, our visa J1, if you have read what is J1 visa, you'll know that this is a non immigrant visa. Meaning, when you say non immigrant visa, you cannot apply for a citizenship here in the United States. You cannot apply for a green card because again, you are not allowed to based on this program, and it is a cultural exchange program. So you may want to focus your answer and set your answers to non-immigrant intentions. And how do you answer this? What will you do after the program? Of course, if we are, I think right now, most of us are subjected to the 2-year home rule, meaning right after the program, you will go back to the Philippines, stay there for 2 years, and teach your learning experiences to your students as well as to your colleagues in the field of education. So that's how basically how you may want to answer this. And then what are your plans if you receive the J1 visa? Of course, the plans here is to teach in the school that offered you an employment, teach the standards that we are supposed to be teaching, and of course, integrate some of the cultural experiences or cultural backgrounds that you have in the Philippines and try to integrate it in the lessons here in the United States, and then vice versa once you came home or once you plan to come home. And then, what about this one? What are your plans if you don't receive the J1 visa? Well, maybe you just specify that since you still have your job in the Philippines, or if you have resigned in the Philippines, you will still continue your passion and your role, your job as a teacher in the Philippines. I believe that most of us by this time we may not be, or we are still employed with our current employer in the Philippines. So you may want to stick, with your plan of continuing your service as a teacher in your current school. So basically, those are just the questions that you will probably be asked by one of the U.S. consulate officers in the U.S. Embassy. Okay, so just some sort of things to remember, some few reminders. You are on a non-immigrant status, so you should focus on showing your non-immigrant intentions. Okay, just focus on your teaching preparations. What are you going to do as a teacher here in the United States? And since you are on a non immigrant, we're not supposed to say that, or we are not really supposed to plan to stay here for good in the United States. And then you can also use your old passports or other travel documents in the past to indicate that you have a good history, of complying with travel and visa requirements of other countries. And do not forget to bring, of course, your DS 2019. It's very, very important. Your passport, your new and old passports, schedule confirmation that will be sent to you once you paid the visa fee, and your 2x2 ID picture. 2x2 ID picture, just the 2x2 picture. Your financial and employment evidences that will serve as your home ties here or there in the Philippines. And of course, read your DS 2019 and practice your answers. Make sure that they will match your DS 2019 and other pertinent documents that you will be providing them. And last but not the least, be on time and always be safe. Of course, that's the number one thing that we're going to look after too. And do not bring a lot of stuff in your schedule. Just bring those documents that you will need, and if you have like a family member or a friend who is coming to you, it's better so that you can have him or her hold your valuable stuff, because I think cell phones are not allowed, or any electronic devices inside the embassy. So research before you go to your schedule, and always pay attention to all the details. So that's it. Those are the things that I just want to impart and share to you. If there are things that you may want to add, you can always go to the comment section and type in your thoughts and ideas. So I hope everybody will be hearing this soon. Congratulations, your visa has been approved. Once again, this is Miss G, and saying thank you for watching my vlog. I really wish to see you all, and thank you for your heart melting messages. I appreciate you guys. But like what I'm saying, pay it forward to those people who have their dreams, of becoming a teacher here also in the United States. It's just, what do you call this? Heartwarming to help you guys. So anyway, thank you so much, and I wish you good luck if you need anything, except for financial, of course. I was kidding. If you need anything, like you need some help, guidance, questions in line with your application, let me help you, or let others help you. Just post on groups on Facebook. There are a lot of groups, helpful groups on Facebook, and there are a lot of people willing to help. So just send me a message, and I'll be replying to you once I am available. So once again, thank you and congratulations on passing your principal and district interview. Have a wonderful day. Bye.